Oh, so beautiful. It's so beautiful here. Hi there. It's me, New York vocalist Benita Charles. I'm here in New York at the beautiful Battery City Park. It's a beautiful evening, and this is Singing Tips. Every week I do a show. Hi there. I see I have someone join. Every week I do a show for beginner singers to talk about how to become a professional singer. I'm here in the beautiful New York City, down by the water. This is called Battery City Park. Let me give you so we're right on the water. Sorry. Yeah, we're right on the water. It's gorgeous. Beautiful evening, lovely breeze. Hi there, and especially hello to all the replay viewers. I'm New York vocalist Benita Charles, and this is another episode of Singing Tips. So this week is called the recap show because we're going to be going through the first 10. So far we've gotten 10 tips. And this is, hi there, I see I got a person join there. How are you? I'm here in beautiful New York City, downtown by the water. It's called Battery City Park. Where are you from? Let me know. Where are you this evening? Oh, well, okay. Well, anyway, so if you don't want to tell me, it's okay. But yeah, so I'm here every week. I give singing tips for beginner singers, and I've given 10 tips so far. So this is a recap show. So this is a show that we're gonna go over the 10 tips that we did before, because going forward, the next tips are gonna be a different aspect of singing. So these first 10 tips was all about your talent. It's all about building the foundation, because you can't do anything if you're not singing. So that leads us to tip number 1, which was to start learning songs. Start practicing. Tip number 2 was warm up your voice. You want to make sure you practice good vocal care. You don't want to ruin your voice before you start, so you warm up your voice to ease your voice into singing. Tip number 3, that show was a Prince tribute, because that was around the time that Prince passed away. And Prince was a perfect example of an all-around artist. He was a writer, a performer, a musician. He had his own business. He had his own record label. He released music online before anyone else was thinking about it, and made money, and was hugely successful. Tip number 4 is establish a rehearsal schedule. You have to be consistent. That's the only way you're going to build yourself up, is to be consistent and have a rehearsal schedule. Tip number 5 was build your repertoire. So with your rehearsal schedule, now this is what you're going to do in your rehearsal schedule. You're going to build your repertoire. You're going to start creating set lists. You're going to create a different song, so that when you get hired for a gig, you can do any kind of gig. You can do a wedding, you can do an event, you can do a party event, anything. Tip number 6 was take care of your voice, which goes back to the warming up your voice, but taking it even further, just making sure you protect your voice. If you're screaming and yelling, you're gonna give yourself a vocal rest the next day. You're not gonna, strain your voice, because you can hurt your voice. And this is your instrument. This is what you use to make money. Tip number 7 is share your gift to the world. So in this tip, you're giving of yourself. Hi there, thanks for joining. You're in Singing Tips. I'm Benita Charles here in beautiful downtown New York at Battery City Park on the water. Oh, thanks for the hearts, I really appreciate it. So what we're doing here is I have a singing tip show for beginner singers, And I so far have given 10 tips through the weeks, and this is a recap show. So this is a show of all of the tips that we've gone over, because these tips is all about your talent. You can't do anything if your talent isn't together. You're not going to get hired. You're not going to become a professional. So that's what it's all about. So I was on tip number 5, which was build your repertoire. Oh, you agree? Oh, thank you. You agree with that? Tip number 7, share your gift to the world. Whether it's a song, if you're a songwriter, whether you love a certain cover songs, but you bring your own flavor to that. And now especially more than ever, the world needs what you have to offer. We need healing. We need beautiful music. Tip number 8 was write your own songs. Become a songwriter. You have songs in your heart. I mean, these are songs that we need to hear. So, and also I found that writing songs helped me with cover songs, because when you write your own songs, it's from scratch. You don't have anything to work off of. And when you do a cover song, you make it your own. And I used an example of Luther Vandross. I don't know if you guys remember him. Luther was a master at taking a cover song and making it his own. I mean, there were some songs where I didn't know they were cover songs until I heard the original, and I thought, wow, he was really good at that. I'm sorry I missed that last comment you said. I didn't see it. But yeah, Luther was a master at taking a song and making it his own. And as a songwriter, you're creating songs and you learn how to do that. So tip number 7 was find a certified vocal teacher. A vocal teacher will help you learn the proper way to sing. A vocal teacher will help you expand your range. Wow, thanks for all the hearts. I'm really appreciating this. A professional teacher will help you learn the best breathing techniques so that you can sustain your voice on long engagements. You know what to do. I studied opera years ago. I still use the techniques. Oh, you're welcome. I'm glad these are helpful. I still use the techniques even to this day. They help me when I'm sick. I can sing through being sick because of the techniques I learned as an opera singer. I can sing properly. So find a certified vocal teacher. And tip number 10 was learn a musical instrument. Now, you don't have to know a musical instrument to be a singer, but it helps. It helps to know music. It helps, especially if you're a songwriter. You'll be able to write your own music to your song. So learn a musical instrument. So thank you for the hearts. Oh, you guys are awesome. So I'm going to go through the tips one more time in case you missed the 10. So just to explain what I'm doing. So I'm working on a series for professional singers, for beginner singers to become professional. So we have different sections. So the first 10 tips, oh, thank you so much. The first 10 tips is to help you with your talent. This is your foundation. This is what's going to help you become a professional singer. So everything we do from these 10 tips on is gravy. If you have these, this is your foundation. So tip number 1 is for you to start learning songs. Just start singing. Just your voice, let your voice get used to singing. Number 2 is to warm up your voice. You want to practice great vocal care. Tip number 3 was a Prince tribute show that I did, and Prince was the ultimate performer, producer, singer. He's the ultimate artist. He's a perfect example of what we are all striving for as artists. He sang, he was a singer, he wrote his own music, he played his own instruments, he had sorry, you got to go. Oh, okay, well, you catch the replay and you can get all the other tips. So thank you so much for joining me. So Prince was a perfect example of what we're all striving for here at Singing Tips. Tip number 4 was to establish a rehearsal schedule. This will help you be consistent. This will help you, by the way, sick or what you do gig. Oh, yeah, well, I'm just saying that when I was sick, I was able to make it through the gig because I knew the proper vocal techniques, and that's from having a great teacher. So that was part of, my reason of saying get a certified vocal teacher. But so tip number 4 was establish a rehearsal schedule. And this rehearsal schedule will help you be consistent And within that rehearsal schedule goes into tip number 5, which was build your repertoire. So that means creating set lists. You'll have, an arsenal of songs. So when you do a gig, if they ask you for a certain song or type of music, you'll be able to do that with no problem. Let's say it's a disco gig or they want you to do Motown music or jazz. You will have an arsenal of songs and learn at least 50 songs, and that'll help you a lot. Tip number 6 is take care of your voice. So that goes back to warming up your voice, but it goes even further. It's making sure you don't overstrain your voice or you don't yell and scream, because this is your instrument. This is your money maker. And if you do have a night where you're yelling and screaming, you're gonna rest the next day. Tip number 7 is share your gift to the world. You have something that we need. You have whatever your vocal quality, your tone, your song selection, or if you're a songwriter, share your gift to the world. Tip number 8 is write your own songs. Be a songwriter. It's going to help you even when you do cover songs. Tip number 9, find a certified voice teacher. And tip number 10, learn a musical instrument. So these 10 tips is your foundation. This is what's going to help you become a professional singer. The tips we're going to be going forward is going to be about performing. But these 10 tips are what's going to help you be a professional singer. If you missed anything, you can catch me on the replay. Also, I archive all these shows on YouTube. My YouTube channel is Benita Charles. You can find me on Instagram at BCM Sings. But I wanted to do a quick announcement before I go. I want to thank everyone who came to the Shrine in Harlem last week for the Preacher Man and the Revival show. We had a wonderful show. I appreciate everybody coming out. If you missed the show, we will be back on August 13th, so you will be able to catch the full band. But that's going to do it for me. I'm going to wish you a wonderful evening, and I hope that these tips are helpful. I'll be back again. We'll be talking about performing going forward. But thank you so much, and have a wonderful evening.